Hey, my lovelies. Welcome to Entpgathering, Science and Spirituality meeting. I'm Brandon Curtis, and this today's live stream is going to be for all signs. We're going to check in and listen to what messages are coming through your ancestors. And by ancestors, I mean people that you may not even know the names of. Get your DNA tests and know your history is my first message to you. I am going to shuffle before you, so we know that, this isn't all made up. Calling in Archangel Michael, calling in Archangel Raphael, calling in Archangel Uriel, calling in Archangel Gabriel. Also, my God and Goddess energy of Isis, Anubis, Sekhmet, Sobek, Ma'at, and Thoth. And I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to be drawing a card from the Astral OG deck and find out what sort of planetary influence is for each sign, one card for each sign. And then combined with that, I'm going to use the Hindu God Oracle deck. And then I'm going to pull, as I shuffle here, oof. Some stuck energy, yo. I'm glad that you're here in the stream. And again, I just want to get the energy set up correctly so that, we're all grounded and we're not rushing. Also, for each Hindu God card and Astral OG card, to find out what's going on planetarily for each sign, what influence the celestial bodies are having in the messages. In addition, I will choose 3 cards of action or advice, 3 each from the Osho Tarot deck, and then the Wildwood Tarot deck, which is based on all Celtic, Druidic magic and energy. All right, got those shuffled. Let's shuffle the Osho Tarot deck. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you for returning. If you're a subscriber, if you're new, you can check out information about my channel, Entpgathering, Science and Spirituality meeting, in the description box. Also, you can look into my services if you should be so interested. I'm an MBTI Certified Practitioner, an NLP Certified Practitioner, and I help people with ego death processes. Boom. And, that means, if you're going through a sticky situation in your life, if you're going through a dark night of the soul, if you're going through a transition with any of your relationships, or just personal, the relationship that you have with yourself, dealing with narcissistic abuse or abuse of any kind, that you are working diligently to clear out from your, I just heard bloodline or timeline in life, in this incarnation, get at me. I can certainly help you out. And check out my other videos. Like them and share them, and dip into them. No matter what sign you are, I have some videos specific to the intuitive dominance in the MBTI community. And trust that whatever you click on, you'll get messages out of, because as an astrotheologian, I know that we have energies of all 12 signs in our houses. Did you know that the houses correspond to each disciple of Christ? In addition to the months of the year, when, everybody, the human species, we're living according to the solar cycle. Also, there's information, I'm also a psychic investigator. So, check those out as well. All right, last deck to shuffle before I start pulling cards. And we're going to start, of course, with Aries, the baby boss. I got some channeled names that I'm going to read out for Aries, the baby boss. Aries rules the first house. The ruler of that house is the planet Mars. This is masculine fire energy, and Aries and the first house represents where in our chart our soul incarnates into this lifetime. So it's very spiritual, in addition to being masculine fire energy, initiating energy, leader energy. It is the origin of our spirit into this lifetime. So know that, and that fire energy comes from our solar sun. And that's how Source gets us down here for this incarnation. Believe it. All right, so some of the channeled words and messages that came out for Aries. Now, this need not necessarily be a specific name of your ancestor, but if it triggers you in a good way, or in a sort of negative, uncomfortable way, know that it's resonating with you. All right, so I did all 12 signs and gathered names, and for some reason, Aries, the first word out was conjunction. A conjunction, look to your chart, Aries, and everybody else too, because remember, we have Aries energy in every single soul on this planet, right? You have it. That's where your soul incarnated, the first house, which is all about the self and the head. It rules the head. All right, so the first word was conjunction. A conjunction when in our chart, two planets are very, very close together. And when they do come together, it really heightens both and not balances, but combines those two planets' energies. But for the good, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm reminded to remind you of a great conjunction, which I think last time it happened was like 500 years ago, when Jupiter and Saturn went conjunct in the sky. It was visible. It looked like they came together and kind of overlapped. The planets were Saturn, which rules Capricorn and Aquarius. It's about structure, discipline, and it's a very fatherly energy. It's also a community or social planet, along with the other community or social planet of Jupiter. This rules the 9th house of Sagittarius. It's about expansion. It's about luck. It's about spirituality and religion and higher learning. And it rules the last house of our zodiac that is personal, because house 10, 11, 12, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces are community or they're about the collective energies in our world. So conjunction came out, and then here are the names: Ariel, John, Franklin, Constance, Thomas, Rupert, St. John. That could be a place or a surname. Casey, Elizabeth, and Sweetwater, which sounds like a neighborhood to me. It could be a last name, yeah. Really beautiful last name, or a place in the world. All right, I've shuffled. I'm ready to go. I've called in our ancestors for the collective, and specifically for the lovely Aries baby bosses in the collective. And from the Astral OG deck, we have Capricorn, 10th house, VIP access and status. This is very much Aries energy, is it not? Public image, reputation, career, long-term goals, fame, recognition, ambition, respect, achievement, honor, success, potential, and authority. Along with that, from the Hindu god oracle deck, we have Vishnu. He has superhuman strength, stamina, and resistance to harm, plus considerable power to manipulate energies on cosmic scales. What I just heard from your ancestors, dear baby boss, is that you need to call upon them much more often than you do. They're not angry with you. They just miss you, and know that whatever you're going through, tap into them, because you are very, very strong. Your ancestors are there to help support you. You know, baby bosses, that cardinal fire energy and that leadership energy, that competitive nature of Aries has the ability to start a lot of amazing things right in your life. But you do have you can be very impulsive, and you know, once that passion wears off in whatever project that you just started, you guys have a hard time completing. The ancestors are saying, tap into us. We can keep you going. We can give you the stamina that you need to complete each project. And by project, I just heard it could be even a relationship, right? All right. So we have Vishnu and 10th house, status, VIP. 3 cards of action for my lovely Aries from the Osho Tarot deck. We have existence. This is the Magician card. This is you. Oh, this is Gemini, but I also relate it because it's first house to you, Aries. This is definitely your ancestor saying, look to the stars. That's where you'll find us. Look to not material things or planes of existence on this earth. You're already there. And in a way, you know, this incarnation is very hellish, right? It's very 10th house, devil. It's cardinal earth, the 10th house card that came out. But know that you are well supported with the earth. And it's time for you, Aries, to look to your spiritual nature. Second card out. Yeah, exactly. Wheel of Fortune and change. You know, when you do look up into the heavens, and here's like I'm seeing the 12 houses of our chart, zodiacal chart. But this is the karmic wheel. And this is both major arcana, starting with 1 and 10, ending with 10 here so far. That's a karmic cycle. So again, you have at your disposal your ancestors that are asking you to keep yourself grounded on the earth and then reach out to us. Tap into your spiritual nature because it's in you. Don't be such a miser. But also know that the riches are found within you. If you go in, oh, here's the message, go inward, and that's where you'll find us as well. Don't go into the material world, you know, and look for status and money necessarily, because it is your birthright to be the baby boss, to be the leader. And if only you remain grounded and look to the heavens with his existence card, will you find good karma coming your way? Otherwise, you can get stuck. If you're just concerned with money and status in this 3D material world, you can get stuck. Know that you're really powerful down here, but you need to become more vulnerable and soften up. And we do that by looking to our ancestors to guide us and giving in, being so competitive with other humans here down on earth, and look inward to the self to be, I want to say competitive with you, but that's, you know, I think that's been your problem. Look into yourself to connect with your ancestors, because they're there. At the same time, when we all look into ourselves, we're also looking out into the universe. We're looking at karma and how it's playing out, because we're all stardust. We're all made of stars. So going in is a way of looking out, as above, so below, as within, so without. All right, baby boss. And a card from the Wildwood Tarot. First one out, Ace of Swords. The breath of life. This is air energy. It's the masculine energy, Aries, and it's here with the existence card from the Osho Tarot. So you've got 1 and you've got 1. 11, that's a master number of a great teacher and leader who leads by spiritual example. So further confirmation, you need to go inward, connect with your ancestors, and they will give you the insight to look outward so that you can start manifesting in your world. This isn't the world card, but this is the karmic wheel. This is Saturnian energy. I just heard you are owed good karma if only you get out of this earthbound competitive energy that sometimes you baby bosses can get into. All right, second card out. Along with the karmic wheel, we have 5 of vessels and ecstasy. This is 5 of cups, scorpionic energy. I'm hearing, they're to douse that egoic masculine fire energy of Mars, you need some more water. You need some vulnerability, as I mentioned at the top of your reading, Aries, as the cards came up. Here in this deck, it's being able to enjoy the more feminine side of you, and get out of this this masculine fire energy. It's really beautiful. It's a nurturing of the ego in a way that you're not usually prone to. All right, and that's right on top of the change card. All right, so further confirmation to quell that fire of Aries. You guys are so strong. You'll need to go inward, become more vulnerable, and connect with your ancestors. So on top of the 4 of Pentacles card, you have the 4 of Bows. This is you, Aries. 4 of fire and celebration. So you got 154. You might look up that angel number. That's first house, 5th house, Leo. And oh yeah. Okay, so you being the ruler of the first house need to jump into your 5th house, which is a different type of fire for you. It's a fixed fire of Leo and the sun of the ego. And then what will happen in that process? You will develop a nurturing feminine, again, vulnerability is coming up for you, Aries, feminine energy of the 4th house, which is ruled by Cancer. All right, moving on. We've got Taurus. The names that came out when I was channeling for Taurus are Kenneth, Vicky or Victoria, Russell, Evans, Carol. I've got the word Justice. That could be a first name, or the Justice card. The name Simeon, the name Smith, the name Michael, the name Frolic, the initials B, the initial K, the initial L, the name Johnson, and the name Mattis. Could be first or surname. All righty. Taurus, my dear baby bull. I wanted to say baby boss. Some of you might be Aries, Taurus, cuspers. We've got first card out. We've got the 11th house, Aquarius. So it's interesting. I said Aries, Taurus, cuspers, and Aries had the 10th house card come out here. For my lovely Taurians, we have community, society, organizations, friends, social circle, giving back, hopes and wishes, group activities, memberships, networking, social consciousness. And coupled with that, from the Hindu gods oracle, ooh, we have Kali, goddess of time, creation, destruction, and power. Taurus, my dear baby bulls, my bull tribe. there needs to be a restructuring and destruction of some of the relationships that you have in your life. Um, Taurus, ruler of the second house, Venus rules the second house, along with the seventh house of relationships, and that's Libra energy, right? It's second house is about money. It's about relationships. It's also, if Aries is the place where our soul first incarnates through into this lifetime, through Aries fire energy, it's house 2 for me is the vessel. It's the body. It's physical. It's fixed earth, right? So it's taking that spirit of fire and love, and rooting it into a physical vessel. So Kali Ma and Aquarius, which is Saturnian energy. Saturn rules Aquarius along with Uranus. Uranus is about major transformation, and it's no surprise that Kali Ma is coming out. So you being the loving Venusian energy that you are, baby bulls. Why did I say baby bull? I might be talking to Aries, Taurus, Cusper. Oh, I also got too that Mars, the ruler of Aries, is sort of the masculine. That book, what is it? Women are from Venus, men are from Mars. So Mars and Venus have an interesting relationship, and sometimes it can be in conflict. But my dear bull gang, you can be overgiving, you can be overloving, you can be codependent quite often. Oh, and I'm just hearing that tapping into your fire energy of your first house and that Mars energy, you're going to need it along with Kali Ma. She's here to help you redefine who you include in your community, who you include as friends and family. Who do you give your great abundance of unconditional love to? You need to look at that and do some changes. All right, from the Osho Tarot deck, first card out, we have, no surprise, Queen of Pentacles. So whether you're male or female, I think the focus right now, and this is going right over Kali. Ooh, okay. Maybe look to the female relationships in your life. They may need changing. And the second message, take it what resonates, throw out the rest, is that you need to nurture yourself before you nurture other people, and learn how to balance the masculine and feminine in you. Your feminine energy, your fixed earth energy, your Venusian energy. So yeah, I was going to say tap in to that Aries Mars energy of the masculine part of you, and balance it out. And here you have the Tower. So further confirmation, my dear bull gang, that you need to cut some people out because they're draining your energy. Oh my goodness, we have the King of Pentacles. Here you are. Yes. So you're over unconditional love, Venusian energy with the Queen of Pentacles. Needs a change, and reach out to Kali Ma. And what will happen is there will be a marriage within you, bull gang, of the masculine and feminine. But you got to do the work. You've got to strip away. You've got to destroy old paradigms, old relationships that no longer serve you, here over the 11th house. And from the Wildwood Tarot, look, 10 of Cups. This is what's going to come if you do this work. 10 of Cups. This is community, and we have the 11th house of community come out before. So further confirmation that what I'm saying and the message is coming from your ancestors is spot on. I just heard. It's easy for you to stay grounded, but reach out to your ancestors more often. And connect with them, set up your altar and light your candles, and I just heard food offerings. We know, as a quad Taurus myself, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Saturn, and I have my Taurus Moon and Saturn conjunct in my first house. So I love to cook. Bull Gang, we have so much love to give to people in our communities through friends or family. Because they really look to us, do they not? To learn how to control our emotions, and we're often really grounded in our emotions, and we can that's why sometimes we can come off as being cold because I got like two distinct messages. We can go from one extreme to the other. We can go from being totally unconditional and being very, very giving to when we recognize when we're codependent or dependent on somebody's energy that we're not getting back. Six of Pentacles pops into mind. It's time for us to cut that relationship off, or at least in our, good-natured loving self, have a conversation with that person and say, hey, you know what? I give and give and give in this situation, and I just want something back. Are you, or even before you have this conversation, your ancestors are saying, you can read people. You have Taurus energy, so everybody on the earth, you're very connected to nature. You're very empathetic. That's the word that was missing. Read that person, and then and then tap into your ancestors. Ask them, is this person capable of a Six of Pentacles with me? And if the answer is no, trust your gut. Use your heart, not your mind. Because if you use your gut and your heart, when you're asking these questions, your third eye is going to open. The third eye will show you the answer through your ancestor messages. But if you think there's hope for that person to have a reciprocal exchange of energy, Six of Pentacles, then go for it. But be gentle, and I know you will because you're super loving, but also you might have to step up into that bull energy. Second card out, we have Seven of Arrows, insecurity. It fell on the Tower card and the 11th house, and Seven of Arrows or Seven of Swords is the moon in Aquarius. So further confirmation here that some of these people are insecure that you're going to have to cut out, and they look to you because you're so strong, you're so grounded, you're so emotionally controlled, and your feminine energy. Seven of Swords can be deceitful. It can be disarming. It's a card of friends betraying you, but you're so strong. You can stay in that relationship way too long. So look to those relationships where it's not Six of Pentacles and cut those people out. And if you need strength to do that, look to the stars, look to your ancestors. But first look in, because as within, so without, as above, so below. Wow. We've got 10 and then 7, 7. And I started this live cast at a live stream at 7/11. We have 11th house. Okay, so lots of synchronicity for you, Bull Gang. And here we have Seven of Pentacles. This is you, Taurus. And I've been mentioning Six of Pentacles. This is you. Should you cut these Seven of Swords out of your life? And out of your own, because air energy is of the heart, right? And you're ruled by Venus. So there's going to be a lot of healing that comes in this process of cutting people out, because remember, to replace old stuck energy in our lives, we need to cut it out. And then and only then, and without forcing it, you got to let the universe, you got to let your ancestors bring in the new energy. That's another thing, being headstrong as a bull, you can charge forward, and because you're earth sign, fixed earth sign, you can get a lot of shit done. You're the hardest working sign, in my opinion. Along with Capricorn and Virgo, all the earth signs overwork, and we all need some healing, especially you, bull gang. So once you cut the people out with Seven of Swords energy, you're going to do it with love. You're going to tap into your ancestors, and so you can learn discernment and what needs to go. This, of course, after you balance your masculine and feminine. Here we have Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. In between, we have the Tower card, right? You're going to be able to do the healing. You're going to be able to relax and let the waters of life and this healing from your ancestors who've help you cut out any relationships that you are no longer serving you, that aren't reciprocal, aren't Six of Pentacles energy. And you're going to just rest, relax, and allow the healing to come that comes with the Seven of Pentacles. Gorgeous. All right, my dear lovely Geminis, my magicians out there, the channeled names for Gemini are Connie, Shepherd, Eunulis, Jamie, Keith, Aster, Beth, Cooper, West, Van Ness, and Peter. Let's find out from the Astral OG what planetary universe or influence. We've got conjunction and union, joined forces, working together, merging, enhancing, empowering, strengthening, combined energy, linked, and lack of individuality. Isn't that so true of Gemini? You guys get a bad rap of being two-faced. This union that this conjunction speaks of, and I talked about conjunction because that word came out for Aries. Okay, what's the message? Yeah. Okay, let me explain how I understand the first three houses. First house is where our spirit comes in. Second house, ruled by Taurus, that's where the spirit like gets into the body, into the vessel. And then the universe, source, God, Allah, Yahweh, then adds the left and right hemispheres of the brain, the masculine and feminine of the brain, to create, in part, in the first third, the first quarter of the game of life, your mind. It adds your mind. So let's find out, Gemini, from the Hindu gods oracle, what card? Indrani, beauty, sensuality, jealousy, and rage. The thing I got was, being an air sign and being, the twins, that masculine and feminine air energy. I think you're Geminis, you're always desirous of union. You're also the magician card, right? Who has the four elements out on the table. And the magician card is, for me, is about you, my dear, brilliant Gemini, being able to look in the material plane and look at all the resources available to you. And then in your mind, you create, or you start to manifest. However, I think some of you are somewhat, because you're all up in your head with the air energy, you need to ground yourself in more Taurus energy. So look to your second house, care for your second house, get out in nature more, to ground you, because you are so, you can get jealous and rageful. Look to your second house here with Indrani and beauty and sensuality, which is all Taurian energy, which is Venusian energy. So definitely, in order to create a union, in order to merge your masculine and feminine parts of your brain, ground yourself in your body. Do you have any Taurian friends? Get at them. I actually have some current Gemini buddies, and I love the way they think. I love, because as a Taurus, I'm up in my head quite often, or can be, and I love being there. And sometimes I do struggle with staying grounded. Maybe I just heard Geminis. Sometimes you look at your Taurian friends or people who can remain grounded, and again, that jealousy comes out. The Indrani is giving you a heads up about. So be careful about that. You can get really rageful too, jealous. Um, you're ruled by Mercury, and this is about communication. So watch your words as well. All right, from the Osho Tarot deck, first card out, we have Courage. Yeah, this is about your ego. This is the Strength card. This is Leo energy. But here in the Osho Tarot, this is about courage to, I just heard, when you're all up in your head and you're not grounded in earth energy, it's very frightening. It's very frightening for you, Gemini. It's all masculine air energy that isn't grounded. And here we have a flower that's grown out of what appears to be, crevices of a rock. So further confirmation to have the courage to root yourself into earth energy. And this is about the ego. This is going to, yeah. Okay, all right. So Gemini, my dear Gemini, sometimes, that all that mental activity, and because you are hella smart, let's face it, and you're great communicators. And again, you can see the resources in the earth and then put them together in your mind and like almost see the future. I mean, you are ruled by Mercury. In a almost psychic way, but it can't manifest unless it's practical and grounded and slow moving. Have the courage of the bull of Taurus to slow and steady win the race. Have the courage of Capricorn to initiate new projects that are grounded in the earth. And then, Virgo, mutable earth energy. You, my dear Gemini, are mutable air energy. Look to your sixth house and also take your knowledge, your intellect, all that air energy, and meld it with Virgo. Again, look to your sixth house and know that we have energy of all the 12 houses in our person. So you are a Virgo, a part of you, and it's in your sixth house. So whether or not there are planets there or not, if there are planets, it might indicate that you have those planets to help you. Maybe you have a conjunction there. They're there to help you. Virgo energy and sixth house energy, because we go from 369, right? This is Nikola Tesla's 369 quote of, if you only understood the magnificence of 369, you would hold the keys to the universe. So you, my dear Gemini, need to get out of Gemini energy and look to Virgo energy. And you do this through your planet, your sign's ruler of Mercury. So, communication, reach out and actually speak and meet up with in the material world, any earth sign, right? And we're going to help you, because I'm at quad Taurus, sun, moon, rising, and Saturn. My moon and Saturn in my first house. So, if you're interested in my services and you want to book a consultation, I'll throw cards, but I don't really need them. And we can talk about how you can take that Gemini energy and really ground yourself, so that you can start manifesting the things that you want in your life. Because right now you're in 10 of Wands energy, which is in this deck suppression. So A lot of that air energy, it's easy for you to go to fire energy, which is also masculine, and take on way too much. Remain grounded, have the courage to ground yourself and drop the burdens of the 10 of Wands. Third card out. And of course, what will come is transformation. So you have two major arcana. You go from 8, which is eight. The 8th house is scorpionic energy, to the card number 13 of the death card, transformation. Following my advice, or your advice from your ancestors, because this is an ancestors messages reading, will help you. And I just heard for you, Gemini, your ancestors are out in nature. Maybe some of you have connections to the Fae and you don't even know it. So that's, like sprites and spirits and fairy energy. And speaking of which, I'm using the Wildwood Tarot, which all comes from Druidic, Celtic, witchy history and energy. We've got the King of Pentacles in the Wolf. Wolf. Woof. Yeah, the Geminis in my life have been pretty hot, I must say. All right. So this is the King of Pentacles, the second time that it's come out in this reading. Not in yours, Gemini, but it came out for Taurus. So yeah, seek out a Taurus, because you're attracted to them. And oh my goodness, you can't make this up. Seek out a Taurus, because they're going to help you understand how to ground yourself in the material world. This is the Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. And if you follow the Angel Tarot and angels, as I do, this is one of my guardian angels. It's also, and for those of you joining us or didn't hear it in the other signs, as an astrotheologian, not only do I believe that we have the energies of all 12 houses, we also have angel and demon energy in those houses. So learning the houses, learning to become the ruler, the magician in each of your houses, is sort of like the point of this life. Scorpionic energy, which is opposite Taurian energy. There, and here on top of the transformation, more scorpionic energy is further confirmation that there's, I think, going to be a transformation in your 7th house, and you will have to cut off some relationships that are keeping you up in your head, keeping in your masculine energy, and not grounding. So I foresee solitary alone time for you to mourn the losses of the relationships that you will cut out. Maybe you're going through some divorce right now. Know that your ancestors are saying it's for the best, because this lifetime should be first and foremost about you. And then once we generate that self-love, we can ground ourselves in the material world, and then start creating abundance for ourselves. It's not selfish, Gemini. Then and only then can we then couple with people. But there needs to be a loss. There needs to be a transformative action on your part, and just, call in your ancestors, because they're there. And some of them you don't even know. They go back generations, but they're there. This is in the end times, as far as I'm concerned. And it's about, those ancestors giving us signals from the universe through readings like this, saying, hey, we're here. You need to do some healing. Otherwise, our bloodline isn't going to be in the next creation of the next new earth. All right, Gemini. Those were your messages from your ancestors. Let's move on to Cancer. Cancer, I didn't have a lot of names that came through for you, but here they are. Ancestor names that came through: Gina, Stephanie, the last name Story, the name Mabel, and the name Ruth. So a lot of feminine names, which is interesting. Or not so interesting because, Cancer, fourth house, ruled by the moon, is feminine energy. The fourth house is all about where we create a home within ourselves, with our own feminine energy, that no matter where we go, there we are. We can take our home, kind of like a turtle does with its shell. Anywhere we go, we have that emotional center that will that we can call home. So no matter how emotional, I almost said tragic, or no matter what stress is coming in from the outside world, know that there is a home within each of you. Yes, exactly. Venus and love, beauty, romance, Friday. Venus rules the day Friday. They also rule the sign. She also rules the sign Taurus and Libra. It's about courtship, aesthetics, sex appeal, affection, sensuality, values, pleasure, grace, gratitude, inspiration, self-worth. So a lot of Taurian energy so far that have come through for the other signs. I mean, we had the King and Queen of Pentacles come out for you, Taurus. So I think this is general message that, again, our ancestors that have lived on this planet for centuries, thousands and thousands of years, are coming through saying, we want to be freed. This is the end times, and keep doing the work necessary through love, through healing yourself, through loving yourself, and then loving everybody else. And this is going to break generational curses and of the bloodlines that these ancestors that you're connected to. Krishna, protection, compassion, tenderness, and love. You can't make this up, people. These are direct messages from your ancestors, my dear Cancers. All right. So it's all about love. It's not necessarily about emotions or emotions in all of them. I sense a transformation in like the other signs of cutting out certain things in our life that maybe are triggering us, that don't belong, that our ancestors are saying, these are the generational curses. These are the relationships that you have formed in this incarnation that you need to look at again. Yeah, projections. Exactly. Seven of Swords. Sorry, Seven of Cups. That was the last, or that was in the last reading too of Gemini. Seven of Cups, Scorpionic energy, transformation. But going back to these people that trigger you, they're doing it through your emotions, and they're projecting these karmic ties that you have, my dear Cancers, with people that your ancestors want you to cut out. They want you to first notice that it's all projection. So you need not overreact. You need not get emotional when you're triggered by these people, because what they're doing is they're looking at you and they're getting all angry or whatever, or jealous or envious. And they don't realize that what they see in you that they're envious of is actually found with them. And as a Cancer, you're very you're the moon rules you. You're all about emotions. And if you're grounded and well balanced, you have access to all the emotions. But learn discernment. And because you are so empathetic, I'm picking up Heyokas and empaths, right? Be careful of not taking on other people's energy as your own. These projections coming from people, sending you envy, sending you hate. That's not your feeling. And some of you, I'm hearing, you believe it is. And then you beat yourself up emotionally because you think you're a bad person. It's not, oh, gosh, can't make this up. Look, more love. This is about marrying the masculine and feminine within each of us. It's not about projection. And those people projecting onto you, they see that you are well balanced. They see that you have all of your emotions well defined. Before I started doing spiritual work and healing and helping people heal their egoic hurts, I didn't, in the process, I learned to identify and name all the emotions that I was feeling. Whereas before, I just thought it was freaking messy, but learning discernment and learning that the projections from other people aren't yours is key to then discovering what is yours. And then that builds up a self-love, a self-knowing in the Lover's card. This is also Gemini energy, and Gemini is the house right before you. So look to the ways that you are balancing out your air energy in your life. So masculine and feminine. Now we have the Devil. Yeah, because that we can get chained and obsessive with the Lovers. And after we have projection, Lovers, and then the Devil card, conditioning. And I like this deck because it best describes the process. So you have projection onto you, or no to. Okay, great. From your ancestors that you project. I think we all freaking project, right? When we're looking to couple with somebody, we project our own gifts onto others, and that attracts us to them. I'm thinking of the narcissist and the empath paradigm, which is a devil's trap. It's all conditioning, and it comes from your mind, dear Cancer. And it comes from both the projections that are coming to you from other people and the projections that you have on other people. Know that. All right. So here, learn to look at the conditioning from your bloodlines. What kind of relationships were modeled to you in your childhood home, and look to understand those relationships, because you'll understand the projections coming to you from other people and the projections that you have on other people that are bringing you together in this pattern of behavior that is unhealthy. Your ancestors are saying, get out of this cycle, this cycle of conditioning, and use your mind rather than the water energy of cups. All right. Yeah, we have more Capricorn energy. The World card. This is the balance of all the fixed elements of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. And this is right over projection. So a grounding. It's the final card of the major arcana. So you move from Seven of Cups, Scorpionic energy, to the Lover's card, major arcana, card number 6, to the Devil card or conditioning in this deck of card number 15, and then you're moving to card number 21, the final card of the major arcana. So these are major life cycles that you're going through, and it's all about marrying the masculine and feminine within you, being able to discern what is not yours and what is yours as far as projections are concerned, so that you can break free of the conditioning in your bloodlines. And your ancestors are here, the world tree, saying that you're almost there. Just keep going and call out to them. Ground yourself out in nature as well, my dear Cancers. All right. Moving on to the sign of Leo, we have the names Lee, Richard, Beth, Stephen, Richardson, Musgrove or Musgrave, Merriweather, and Zola. Those can be first names. They sound to me like a lot of surnames, but take it as it resonates. You may not even know these ancestors, but get your DNA tests and look back into your history. All right, first card out from the Astral OG deck, 8th house, more scorpionic energy. The main messages from all your ancestors for all your signs is about transformation. I believe this is the end times. This is where our ancestors are triggering us. They're talking to us in our dreams, in our waking life, giving us signs that they want our bloodlines to move forward. They want their bloodlines to move forward, and they want to help you. So keep reaching out to them during this transformative time. Birth, death, rebirth, sex, mystery, investments, afterlife, shared resources, inheritance, secrets, joint ventures, and legacy. Yeah, the legacy of your bloodline. You want to, as a Leo, this is all about ego, right? This is all the information that we entertain. This is about our passions. It's masculine. 4th house energy is feminine. Then we have 5th house, which is masculine. So we got the moon, we have the sun, the big 2 luminaries, and then we move on to the 6th house, which is where we combined those two inside the physical. So for you, my dear Leos, a transformation of using fixed water energy. But I think it's really amazing. You know, there's a flame here. This is you, Leo. And we have the world card come out for Cancer. This is about you using fixed water energy for this transformation that your ancestors are asking you to continue doing in your egoic space. We have Radha, goddess of love, tenderness, compassion, and devotion. Sometimes, my dear Leos, you're way too much in your ego. And that masculine fixed fire can burn and burn and burn and burn. And it can destroy a lot of relationships in your life. When it can be one of the most loyal signs. So I foresee for you, my dear Leos, a transformation that your ancestors are asking you to undertake. Let's find out more. And it's all about love. And because, you know, we embody all 12 houses, or 12 house energy is within us, the general, you know, message from all y'all's ancestors is about this healing of the masculine and feminine within you, Leo. Balance out your masculine fire energy with some feminine scorpionic water energy. All right. From the Osho Tarot deck, we have compromise, exactly, a balance. This is Taurian energy. And did I not mention, and Scorpio is the opposite sign of Taurus. They're the shadow signs for each. So 6 of Pentacles energy. Any more, Leo, my dear Leo, only look to relationships. So far as you're grounded, only look to relationships that give you back as much loyalty as you give them. All right? Cut everybody else out. There's a transformation that needs to take place, both in you. Oh, also, I just heard from your ancestors, you need to develop a regular, grounded, working relationship with them. They will be there to support you in this process. Yeah, this process of sorrow, 9 of Swords. This is also about healing, right? Looking within, because you are that masculine place within where our passions continue, and taking responsibility for the healing that is a natural part of a transformative scorpionic death to said relationships. But there's going to be a rebirth. And 9, oh, I just heard, Leo, look to 9th house energy of Sagittarius, which is it's lighter, it's mutable. So move from your fixed fire, your passions, where all this sorrow has been built up, and look to your 9th house, and use Sagittarius. Just be more, transformative with the fire of Leo. So yeah, the message here is use scorpionic fire, that's Mars and Pluto, and use Sagittarius energy. This isn't the card of Sagittarius. This is Nine of Swords. This is Gemini energy, but that's also mutable air energy. So look to get out of this stuck Leo fire energy that burns and burns and burns and is really fixed, because all the fixed signs are incredibly stubborn. I should know. I'm a quad freaking Taurus. Look to the lighter, more changeable energy that you have within you. Trust that you have it within you. And then, learn to take, my Nine of Swords card is also like learning to take responsibility for your communications, for your thoughts, because whatever thoughts you have are going to be embedded. And I just heard burn within you, my dear Leo. But tap in, ground yourself with your ancestors, get out in nature, and, to help you get to the Sagittarius mutable fire energy that your ancestors want you to go. Do you have a spiritual practice, my dear Leo? Take that passionate fire energy that you have for things in the material world or from your heart and share it with your ancestors. There needs to be a compromise in order to transform, my dear Leo, right? Okay. And third card out from the Osho Tarot, possibilities. Once you go through this, and here we have cardinal fire energy. So clear messages from your ancestors to break out of your fixed fire energy, my dear Leo, is to use cardinal fire and mutable fire. Because once you do the inner work, or this also confirms my last message from the ancestors, get out in nature and ground yourself and see the possibility for passion that you can create in the material world. Use the eagle eye. This is Nine of Swords energy, Gemini energy that I mentioned, right? To look over your dominion, to look over all the possibilities in your life. And I don't see anybody here right now. So clear out and transform so that you can bring in only relationships that are equally giving, okay? All right, from the Wildwood Tarot. Yeah, more grounding with the Page of Pentacles. This is you, so of the court cards, you have the King, Queen, and then you have a Knight, and then you have a Page. This is how I read the energy. You have obviously, everybody has a masculine and a feminine of each element within them. And you need to learn to master that. So you, my dear Leo, would be King of Swords. You also have a Queen of Swords within you. And both of those, masculine and feminine, creates a sun. And that's translated for me energetically into the Knight. But then after, the firstborn male, which always goes to God, there is the really powerful energy of the female, the daughter that's created, and pages are that very creative part of yourself. So more confirmation for you, my dear Leos, to get out there and create possibilities in the material world. Second card out. Here you are, Leo. The Sun. This is a rebirth. Once you learn to balance the masculine and feminine, you can then reparent the inner child. Clear as day, right there. What I just say? We got the Lover's card. This card for me is about learning self-love. So my dear Leos, you are in a place of transformation and great possibilities. Just tap into your ancestors. They're there to guide you, and you got this. You're a freaking Leo. All right, Virgo. The names of your ancestors, or the names that came out, are Gamble, Einstein, Steinbeck, and Faulkner. We got some writers and scientists out there. Shakespeare and Murdoch. You might be reading, something written by any of these authors. You might have that in a surname in your ancestors. You might be connected to these individuals. All right, Virgo, my dear Virgo, 6th house. We first card out is the 4th house. I was just talking to Cancer and Leo about how the 4th, 5th, and 6th house, the 4th house is our emotional center. The 5th house is our passionate masculine center. And then the 6th house is where we put those two energies together. 4th house. So for you, my dear Virgo, look to the emotional part. Oh, and I always say that Virgo, and knowing what's in my 6th house, and I've had plenty of Virgo friends, and being an empath, Heyoka empath, I've always felt the anxiety within and their emotions within. And the message from your ancestors is look to the emotional place that you call home within you. And better understand the emotions that are causing a lot of anxiety in your life. Family, roots, foundations, emotions, femininity, mother, domestic, comfort, feeling at home, ancestors, property, and family values. As a mutable earth sign, you are earth feminine energy. But Mercury, your ruler, your planetary ruler, is masculine air energy. And that's why the anxiety comes in so easily for you. If you're not grounded in 4th and 5th house energy. We have Uranus. It just so happens that Uranus is in my 6th house. This is breakthrough, change, originality, awakening, Aquarius. It rules the sign of Aquarius. Shocking, revolutionary, innovation, sudden events, epiphanies, unconventional, and unusual. Oh, I pulled this out. I'm going to go with it. I wanted to pull out a oracle card from the Hindu gods oracle. So for you, Virgo, look to your 4th house for a breakthrough, further confirmation that, getting in touch with and actually knowing names here. Okay, knowing the emotions. Can you identify emotions and actually name them? That's super important to getting to know yourself and your triggers, which cause anxiety, often for Virgos, right? Fear. Also, creating an emotional home is going to create breakthroughs for you in your workplace. The Hindu god is Hanuman, wisdom, strength, courage, devotion, and self-discipline. This is full on Virgo energy. So further confirmation that the preceding messages are on point. So 3 cards from the Osho Tarot deck. First card out, slowing down. You need to slow down and ground yourself. This is actually, now Virgo. This is Capricorn energy for me. So this is the night of you, my dear mutable earth Virgo energy. Slow down. You move too fast. Feeling groovy. Simon and Garfunkel song popped into my head. So you might want to listen to that song and go with the flow more. Don't overwork yourself, as you earth signs can do. And let's see, the Fool. Yeah, Aquarius energy. Trust that when you do slow down and you embody a more fixed air energy about you. This is my faith card. That's what I just The ancestors want you to have faith in this process once you slow down, because Virgos can work themselves to death, right? And it's all about restructuring both the internal and the external. Slow down in that process. This is going to ease the stress and anxiety in your mind, in that air energy of Mercury, and ground it. Get out inside in nature and trust. Oh, also, see how that flower is almost reaching out to the moon there? More fourth house energy. That's where your breakthrough comes through, is through your emotions. And also the love that you have with your ancestors. Do you get out in nature and ground yourself? Do hikes, solo hikes, and connect with your ancestors? Get your DNA test done and find out what parts of the world and the peoples of those worlds are actually in you. When I did that, it was mind-blowing. And yeah, it brought me the Ace of Swords with consciousness. It made me aware of all the energies that I'm made of. And it's true, folks. We're talking about, these are ancestor messages. So we're talking about bloodlines. We're talking about the end of times right now. We're talking about fighting the demons along with the help of our angels in each of our houses. 1, 11, 11, as I said that. I'm moving on. Ace of Swords. Ace is 1. You have clarity. This is my Archangel Michael card. This is great wisdom and of the Virgo mind. As long as you have faith and trust in the universe, your ancestors, and as long as you slow down, you're going to be able to connect with them and then move forward in life, being balanced in your fourth house, being balanced in your emotions. All right, 4 of Stones. We had fourth house, and now we have 4 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, more Capricorn energy that we saw here in the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so further confirmation, and this is right over the Knight of Pentacles. This is about protection. When we do the fourth house work, my dear Virgos, you are going to be protecting your emotional and your body as well, and your mental as well. Gemini energy, I just mentioned mental energy of the shaman. This is the balance of the masculine and feminine within the head. But this is also your ancestors saying that you will be protected through this process as long as you have faith. With the Fool card, you have the shaman. So get into rituals, get out into nature, build your altar, and ground yourself. Some of you are actual shamans, my dear Virgos, that can heal others. Third card out, 2 of Air, Libra energy, injustice. Your 6th house, Libra is 7th house. And this is on top of the Ace of Swords, which is 3 of Swords. This is about the mental air energy within you, Virgo, that involves relationships. And here with the 2, we have the feather and the gold being weighed. Before this reading, I called in Ma'at and Sekhmet and Anubis and Isis. There's a transformation in your relationships that needs to occur, and your ancestors want to do this with you. This is also my peace of mind card. Once you do this work of this injustice that you fear or you have in your head right now, there will be a lot of healing that comes through. All right, my dear Scorpios, the channeled names are Brian, Tim, Ashley, Eve or Eva, and Flordalino. First card out, we've got, can't make this up, the Enigma. Intense, strategic, secretive, sexual, enticing, extreme, powerful, passionate, manipulative, competitive, possessive, ruler of the 8th house. I'm not going to say any more. Let's see what Hindu god is paired with you, my dear Scorpio. Universal unity, peace, cooperation, destiny, energy, and spirituality. Tara is asking you to come out of that fixed water, that transformative self, and start cooperating, especially if like you're a Scorpio rising. You have Taurus on your descendant that rules your 7th house. Is that right? You have Taurus on your descendant for sure. So grounding yourself, use that Taurian energy on your descendant, no matter what house it rules over, to be more cooperative, be more spiritual as well. I'm hearing your natural spiritual self or psychic self or transformative self of sex, death, and transformation needs to be grounded in the material world. You might look to Tauruses unconsciously for that support, it being your shadow sign. Let's find out. 3 cards of action, adventure. Here we have the Page of Pentacles. So this is Taurian, Virgo, Capricorn energy with the Ace of Pentacles coming out. This is you, your inner child, and needing to ground your inner child, or putting your inner child first in your life. All right, let's get another one. Ancestors, what's coming through? Yeah, put your inner child first, because there's been a lot of 3 of Swords energy in your life of late. Your ancestors are saying, there's no colder energy, I believe, than Plutonian energy, and Pluto rules the sign of Scorpio. Pluto is about 18% the size of our moon, but it has a moon of its own called Charon. Both are ice, not giants, but Pluto is mostly comprised of methane ice, of really deadly ice, and Charon is hydrogen ice, and of course H2O, water of life. And because it's a binary system, because of how far apart they are, and when the sun rays do hit it, and them moving around each other, gravitational pull, Charon expels this hydrogen ice that falls down on Pluto. The message here is your inner child needs attention. It needs to be grounded. You need to connect with them through your ancestors. Get out in nature. Oh, yes. This isolation, this being cold, scorpionic fixed water. I always say Scorpio, this energy is like, Scorpios, you can sit on the bottom of the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest part of the world's oceans. It's cold at AF. It's pitch black, and you have the weight of the world's ocean surrounding you, like holding you down. But you're so powerful, Scorpios. You can sit there comfortably, but you sit there way too long. So you need to start moving, get air into your lungs to create buoyancy, so that you'll start slowly rising to the surface of the water, so you can step out on land after your transformation. And right now for you, your ancestors are saying, yeah, you are healing a lot of grief in your life, and that's good, but don't sit there in that grief, in that state of transformation too long. Yeah, don't sit there and fight the process of you getting air into your lungs and creating buoyancy. Once that happens, you'll start floating closer to the surface of the water, where you'll eventually step out on land. But as you do ascend out of your pits of hell and fighting and isolation and blackness and coldness, you will hit the sun's rays, or the sun's rays will hit you. You know, this color here and this spectrum of light, and it'll begin to warm you. So the channel message from your ancestors is also get physical, like work out, get massages, take steam baths, but get physical, move your physical vessel, which is second house energy, Taurian energy, earth fixed energy. All right. On top of adventure, you have the 8 of Swords, or struggle. Yeah, Scorpio, you like to struggle in that transformative state way too long. This is on top of the adventure card, the Page of Pentacles. So further confirmation that what I was saying, and 8 rules you're the 8th house ruler. Yeah, you can sit there in this isolation and fight, even with yourself way too long. This is also my card. 8 of Swords is my card of entering the dark night of the soul. Yeah, you can do this so well. You get stuck there. You need to come up, rise to the surface, get out of this transformative state. And this is the Hermit card. And we have fire here amongst all this cold snow and this darkness of the hooded man, right? And what he's looking at a bird, what looks to me like a wren, a messenger. And you got a wreath above his cave door, and he's outside. So he's done the work. You've done the work. Trust the transformative work that you've done, Scorpio. So long as you come out of the cave that you've been in, this cave of isolation, where you've been doing the transformative work with the Knight of Swords and the 8 of Swords, Dark Night of the Soul work. Trust that, and here he's holding on to wood, more earth energy and sun energy in the lantern. Look to your 6th house for placements and planets on how you might. No, I'm just hearing from your ancestors. Do exactly what I'm saying. Get massages, work out, get out into nature, and come out of this cold scorpionic transformative state that you've been in. Yeah, and you go to 8 of Cups. This is you, Scorpio. You go to 8 of Arrows, 8 of Air, to 8 of Cups. 8 is the number of strength. And this is you, Scorpio, rebirth. So, further confirmation. I'm moving on to Sagittarius. And wish you all the best of luck, Scorpio. I know you got this. Sagittarius, the channel names from your ancestors are Bowen, Alan, Faith, Dennis, Grant, Regis, and Chase. First card out. Libra energy, the mediator, fair, people pleaser, balanced, sociable, sensible, diplomatic, polished, easygoing, fickle, indecisive, harmonious, self-indulgence, ruler of the 7th house. Libra is ruled by Venus. 7th house is about relationships. It's about equality and justice. It's about who we allow. I also got Sag. That, Libra energy, if you tap into your Libra energy, which is cardinal air energy, you being mutable fire energy, I think, here, let's find out what Hindu god oracle deck, Durga, holds the weapons of various male gods of Hindu mythology, which they give her to fight the evil forces because they feel that she is the Shakti, energy and power. Holds the weapons of various male gods of Hindu mythology. Libra is, swords. It's masculine energy. You, Sag, are masculine fire energy, mutable. You rule the ninth house, which is the last of our personal houses. Okay, Sag. Although, fire is masculine energy, 9, and we saw the hooded man out for Scorpio. It's you rule the ninth house. This is about Jupiter energy, expansion, higher mind, philosophy, religion, and it's mutable fire energy. Of the fire energy, it is the most, or has the potential of being the most powerful spiritual energy of fire. And this is what you need to balance out. Balance out the thoughts that come through in these relationships. You need to balance out your relationships, your ancestors are saying, by burning away relationships that no longer serve, but also within the self. Where are you too impulsive, or where are you not using being the mediator? Where are you not using your Sagittarius energy in a spiritual way? Is it too impulsive? Also too, you're blunt, you're to the point, and you'll say anything really. Be a better mediator of the energy that you put out, of the Sagittarius energy, because you have the potential of being, impulsive and kind of catty and bitchy, to be honest, especially if you're not using your Sag energy, your fire energy, for a higher purpose, a more spiritual purpose. It is, I think, the most spiritual fire energy out there. All right, so we got those 2 cards out from the Osho Tarot deck. Yeah, Judgment, Plutonian energy. This is the planet Pluto. Don't judge yourself too much, but also when you are the mediator, there's an element of judging others. You have the potential with your fire energy, with Durga energy, to fight off evil forces, both within you and in your environment, because you can see beyond all illusion. Second card out. We have traveling. This is you, Sag. This is Jupiter. No, this is Mercury in Sagittarius, 8 of Wands. Yeah, you'll be traveling, or at least communicating. This is also, I think, downloads. It's like it's almost like you're traveling up to the mountaintop and go into hermit mode, if necessary. Or you're there's a spiritual progress about you, Sag, right now that your ancestors want you to tap into and continue on the path towards the sun. And what you're going to find is a completion. You go from beyond illusion, as long as you keep traveling in the direction that you're traveling, following the path of your ancestors that have come before you, you will get to a completion. We go from card 20, and here you are, Sag energy, 8 of Wands, to a completion. This is it. This is the World card. This is a balance of all the fixed energies: Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio. All right, 3 cards from the Wildwood Tarot. We have the Hierophant, Taurus energy, major arcana. This is you using your Sag energy, your ancestors are saying, to make a personal connection to God. Fuck religions, fuck ideology and dogma that you may have a really great grasp of in this material world, in this world, but this world is dying off. This is all about you, Sag. and your spiritual progress, your ancestors are saying. So become your own Hierophant. Make sure you ground that fire energy in earth energy, world card. Use that Taurus energy in you. And we all have all of the signs energy in each of our houses. And each of our houses, as an astrotheologian, comprise us. Yeah, drop any jealousy. You're moving away here over the traveling card, 8 of Wands, again, your energy. You're moving away from this Libra energy. This when we saw the Libra card come out. And with Durga's energy of fire and energy and power, you're traveling towards a higher place in the sun, away from this air energy where you have had some hurt in your heart space. Okay, where this is going. And there's jealousy. Oh, Sages. Yeah. I think you're moving away from, oh yeah, Sag can be incredibly jealous. That fire energy can be very jealous, especially in relationships. Like you are so of the higher mind, and you're very creative as well, philosophical. If anybody comes in like a Hierophant who has a very fixed yet very close personal relationship with Yahweh, with Allah, with God, with Source, you get intensely jealous, Sag. Drop that shit. You're on a cycle of moving away. You're traveling away from that shit to your own destination, to become your own Hierophant, where you have your own relationship to Allah, to God, to Yahweh. Yeah. And this is the Page of Wands. This is you with the Ace of Wands, healing the inner child in the cycle of completion and seeing beyond illusion, and grounding your energy and creating the Hierophant within you. Hierophants also is very esoteric knowledge. I'm a quad Taurus. I'm a freaking Hierophant, even by blood, because I'm a Casey. My grandfather is a Casey, as in OKC clan. We were on the Mayflower, the Pinta, Santa Maria, all those. We were also leaders in the Revolutionary War, and certainly in the Civil War. You can look us up. And James Casey ran the CIA. We're hella psychic because we're hella spiritual. It's in our blood. So yeah, don't get jealous of people who might be more spiritual than you, my dear Sag, because this incarnation is all about you, as it is for everybody else. Everybody has their own path to travel, and everybody gets to the same destination, which is a Hierophant-like. And here's, this is you connecting with your ancestors, but also God, right? Everybody has a personal relationship with God. All right, so that was the second card out of jealousy. Yeah, see beyond illusion with the mirror. This is the Hanged Man card. This is sacrifice. Card number 12, Major Arcana. This is the story of Odin, who hung himself upside down. Oh, and I just learned that the iconography around the very first Pope. Oh, okay, all right. So before popes, there were only Hierophants. And the Hierophant connected people to their ancestors through astrology and through spirit, literally, through channeling, right? And the very first Pope was depicted as hanging upside down from the cross rather than right side up as Christ was. And I think there's a message in here Well, the message that I learned as a Hierophant and getting my DNA test done and then finding my grandfather, who was a Casey, through that DNA test, I shit you not, he was still living. He was a Korean War vet, a man by the name of Robert Paul Casey. Anyway, and once I discovered him, and then once he passed, not coincidentally, on my mother's birthday, and he was a man that my mother never met, or she claimed to have never met him in the physical. When I discovered him through this DNA test, of course, I told him. And then months later, I arranged through his sister to meet with him. And I eventually did that. But I invited my mom to go with me, and she would have none of it. My mom's a Scorpio, my opposite sign. I'm a Taurus. And where's this going? He died on her birthday, October 27th. I don't think there are coincidences. I think, the generational that was built up between them, the energy. And of course, he was of an age where it was his time to go, but hell, it was hell. And I think she tapped into hell, that scorpionic energy, and sent some bad energy his way. But back to the Hanged Man card. This is about you sacrificing, Sag, and becoming your own Hierophant. And this is the story of Odin hanging himself upside down on the tree to gain enlightenment. But sacrifices in order to get to this Hierophant energy, with this personal relationship with the divine. All right, Cap, my dear Cap. My Mars is in Cap, in the 9th house. Cap, the channeled names that your ancestors want you to hear are Lewis, Vincent, Van Dyke, William, Francis, Forbes, Michael, and Katie. First card from the Astral OG. What planetary influences do you have? Cancer, the caretaker. Cap. And Cancer, guess what? Cancer's your shadow sign, my dear Cappy. Loyalty, emotional depth, sympathetic, moody, tenacious, protective, nurturing, familial ties, hypersensitive, sense of home, ruler of the 4th house. Yeah, that's your opposite house. It's your shadow sign. So let's see in the Hindu Gods Oracle deck what your ancestors want you to work with. Matanji, the power of the spoken word as an expression of thoughts and the mind, the power of listening and grasping speech and converting it back to knowledge and thought. Cappy, cardinal earth energy, the father, the money maker, and the caretaker. You don't often express your thoughts, do you, Cappy? Or your emotions, because Cancer is your shadow self. Your ancestors want you to start categorizing, naming your emotions, and first having that conversation with them to help you do that, because you can be very quiet and closed off, but you're fucking working your ass off big time for everybody around you that you love. How much of that Cancerian love that you actually exude, you don't even know it, or no, you feel it inside, but you don't actually express. Sometimes it's okay to step up and say, hey, this is how I feel, and I need someone to take care of me. That's what I just heard. Your ancestors are there to help you do that. But sometimes some of you, all of you, I just heard, are going to have to communicate more with the people that you're working so fucking hard for. All right, pardon the French. First card out from the Osho Tarot deck, we have Rebirth, 10 of Swords, Gemini energy, yet it's 10. Capricorn rules the 10th house. So I foresee a rebirth of the mind. Did I not just say with Matangi that you need to speak up? You need to, again, categorize your emotions. Do you have names for them in what you're feeling? If not, your ancestors are there. Get outside in nature. You are an earth sign. Stop working so hard. Relax and care for yourself. Allow your ancestors to care for you. Or hell, allow friends and family to care for you for once, Cappy. There's going to be a rebirth process that comes of it. And trust with the Knight of Cups, Piscean energy, 12th house energy, that this ending that caused this rebirth is trust that your ancestors, Allah, Yahweh, God, Source is going to guide you and trust you as you move into and remain in this air energy, right? See, you're just out there. It's like you've done a trust fall out into the universe, and I sense you feel your way probably a mile or two. You're at 30,000 feet here. Trust that this is where you need to go, into your mind, so that you can better observe your emotions and classify them, and also use air energy to speak your truth. And what will come is actual experiencing. Here you are again, Cap. 3 of Pentacles. Sorry, 3 of Wands, which is emotional energy. 3 is the first number in the universe that can actually create something. Here, a pattern. And a pattern of experience that as long as you trust, this rebirth is bringing you, and your ancestors are bringing you. Okay, 3 cards from the Wildwood Tarot. 4 of Cups, more Cancerian energy. You might be bored right now, or all up in your emotions, maybe even lazy, which is not an energy that usually you embody. There might be some fear and defensiveness as well. This is Cancerian energy. This is your shadow energy. Trust that the more you sit there, you will not be able to experience what your ancestors want you to experience, to allow and to continue with this rebirth energy at the 10 of Swords. This is also trusting to sit in your emotions more than you normally do in this rebirth. Oh, yeah, it's on top of the rebirth card. So yeah, you'll need to sit in this Cancerian energy doing the shadow work. And for you, it's going to be really boring because you're always working so freaking hard, usually for your loved ones. Now it's time for you, Cap. Your ancestors want you to know to be taken care of. All right. On top of the trust card, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is you. This is cardinal energy. Always working, always working, always working. Trust that this work, this internal look at your emotions and sitting in your emotions, this rebirth energy, is actual work. It's not the work that you're normally, accustomed to and experiencing in life, but it is work, and it's going to bring you freaking great abundance. And this trust in your ancestors is bringing you instruction. Here we have the 10 of 10 of Swords, because bows in this card is fire. So you have 10 of Swords twice. You've got Rebirth from the Osho Tarot, and here from the Wildwood Tarot, you have it means instruction. Awesome. You're going to have to trust that sitting in your emotions, being more Cancerian-like, your shadow side. This is also my card of 10 of Swords is completion of shadow work, an ego death. And you need to experience that ego death. All right? Awesome. You got this, Cap. All right, so we next go to Aqua, my dear Aquas. First card out, we have Earth and Lessons. Yeah, you are, what is your mantra? I know. Sometimes you think you know way more than you actually know. And some Earth sign is going to come along and teach you a great lesson because it's grounding, it's fixed Earth energy, where you're fixed air energy. So what I just heard was your ancestors are saying, as above, so below, air and earth also equates to as within, so without. So there's a need for balancing your air energy and working with earth energy. Reorientation, awareness, 3D experience, exactly, schooling, duality, human condition, reality, practicality, physical body, nature, stability, and mission. From the Hindu gods oracle deck, we have Aqua, Nataraha, Lord of the dance. We dance on earth, right? We dance with our feet, symbolizing the rhythmic vibration of creation. His hands and feet reveal lightness, balance, and beauty in the face of situations. I mentioned situations and lessons. I mentioned balance as above, so below, as within, so without. So the message from your ancestors, Aqua, is you really need to ground yourself and create more of a balance. Being more practical, not believing you know everything and how to get everything done, because you don't, and that can be dangerous, absolutely dangerous, because the 11th house, which you rule, and Uranus and Saturn rule Aqua, and Uranus is all about radical change. It's also about, freaky, weird change that is unexpected. Saturn is grounded, practical, slow and steady, wins the race, structure, discipline. And the 11th house is also about the internet. It's about humanitarianism. It's about philanthropy. It's about friends in our communities. And then there's you, Aqua, who sometimes feel like you are the know-it-all. You can put on this show that you are the humanitarian, and whatnot, and that you are a friend to all. Well, you're not, especially if you're all up in your head with, just like feeding on the mantra, I know everything. I know. You don't know. Earth is here to bring you down to earth so you can learn some lessons. And this means dancing, putting your feet out into nature, on the ground, and that lightness of air is then grounded, creates balance and beauty in the face of situations. So ground yourself, Aqua. From the Osho Tarot deck, first card out, we have 8 of Pentacles, more grounding. 8 is a number of strength. Getting out in nature. That's exactly what I said. So you have lots of air in this energy. This is Virgo energy, mutable earth energy. Get out and move as well. You'll be surrounded by lots of fresh air, but also put your feet on the ground and dance some more. And I'm also seeing that, you do this alone. And once you ground yourself, you're going to be able to better connect with the ancestors that are wanting to help you in delivering lessons for you, teaching you how to dance, and create this change and better balance and beauty in the face of situations. Second card out, you go from 8 to 9 of Pentacles. Wow, this is amazing. This is a strong message that should you ground yourself and consider yourself to be absolutely ordinary, rather than the freak that you think you are, or the special one that you know you are. It's gonna, these lessons are gonna bring in a ripeness of spirit that is grounded. And 9 is a number, a completion of the self, a wholeness of the self. As long as you ground. Yeah, Emperor energy. I was just about to ask, where's the fire energy of Leo? Because it popped in, which is your opposite sign. What I'm seeing here with the 8, 9 of Pentacles into the Emperor, should you do this work, Aqua, of grounding yourself in earth energy and learn the lessons that your ancestors are bringing you, that Gaia is bringing you, that Pachamama is bringing you, you will, this process, this ordinary, going from ordinary to ripe within the self, is going to move you into your Emperor energy, which is, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. We have each in ourselves. And when we learn to balance the masculine and feminine of each element within each of us, here's a balance of all the masculine kings in the deck. I just heard that you're going to bring in your Empress. So for my ladies out there, this process, who are Aqua, this process will, you're gonna balance. You'll have control of over your masculine. Oh yeah. For my Aqua ladies out there who have been way too much in their masculine or way too much in their feminine, you're gonna balance out your masculine parts. All right. 3 cards from the Wildwood Tarot. From your ancestors. 2 of Bows. You need to make a decision. This is Aries energy. This is masculine fire energy. This is you like setting your dominion, looking out over into the world and deciding. This is also, I hear, coming from, this is Emperor energy. I just heard, what was it? What I see? It was the decision. You need to make the decision to ground yourself. And then, put your wands, your staffs, in the earth and balance yourself out. Again, because we're balancing out, you, Aqua, are really balancing out all the masculine energies in you right now. Each masculine king of each element, you will embody here with the Emperor card, the Rebel. Oh, and Aqua, you're often called the Rebel because you do things in an unordinary way, which is interesting because you have ordinariness. So, further confirmation, you need to get outside and survey the land, know what is yours and what is not. Be ordinary, because it's going to bring, as long as you stay grounded, bring rightness. Get out into the community and don't be such a rebel. Experience others and see it from their side of the experience of the lesson. Is going to be able, you'll be able to pop right back into being the rebel, but being exceptional and kind of like the freak, the leader of the community. But you got to become a regular citizen for a while. Ground yourself, okay? All right, second card out over ripeness. We have the King of Wands, or the King, or the Adder. It's a snake. Snakes are symbols of healing. They can also be deadly. With the Earth card and the lessons. And this is the, oh, okay. So when you do embody this Aries energy, this is your king of fire. So it's your spiritual masculine side of you, Aqua, that is learning these lessons. Ground it. I mean, snakes, live on the ground. Their bellies are on the ground. Let's see what comes out next for further messages. You need to make the decision to let rest this king of fire within you, this Leo energy within you, this egoic energy within you. Because Aqua is a sign of air, that's masculine air energy, and fire is masculine energy as well. I think there's some healing in your fire masculine energy that can only come if you root yourself, ground yourself in earth energy, which is feminine. All right, that's the message from your ancestors. Lovely. Okay. Last but not least. Oh, Cap, did I read the names? Yeah, I did. Aqua, I didn't read your names. Sorry. Aqua. The names coming through from your ancestors, the channeled names are Ricky, Jackie, Hugh, Maurice, Larry, Carlos, and Carrie, spelt with a C, A-R-Y, the masculine Carrie. All right, so for Pisces, my dear Pisces, 12th house, the channeled names are Moore, Mary Lou, Sarah, Matthew, Fairbanks, could be a place or a name, and Crosby. All right, Pisces, first card out, we have Lilith and Taboo. Isn't this very much 12th house Piscean energy? Darkness, untamed, intensity, independence, erotic, sexual liberation, temptation, secret desires, fetishes, shadow side, empowerment, and destruction. This is very clear. Your ancestors want you to continue healing and get out of the Piscean energy that you have been stuck in, where there's addictions, there's just some really shadowy, sketchy, sus behavior on your part. Reach out to your ancestors, and they will show you how to manage this Lilith energy, this dark feminine energy. And look to where Lilith is in your chart. For me, it's in my 5th house, ruled by Leo, along with the planet Pluto. You know how much I've danced with Lilith, especially being in my 5th house and with Pluto. So the Hindu god, and I have a 12th house stellium, my dear Pisces, so I'm a disguised Pisces. And that stellium is divided between Taurus and Aries. All right, the Hindu god of Rama, fight, wields a mystical sword, bow, and axe. Immortality. Interesting, because 12th house energy, Neptunian energy, Piscean energy is all about endings. We are leaving the age of Pisces, my dear Pisces, and moving into the age of Aquarius, which is air, which is the mystical sword, Ace of Swords, Archangel Michael, truth, justice, clarity, knowledge, the collective, community, the internet. So which was taboo in our society, Pisces, is coming to an end with the age of Pisces and moving into age of Aquarius, of enlightenment and mysticism of the mind, of air energy, rather than mysticism that has been corrupted or taboo in the age of Pisces. All right, from the Osho Tarot deck, we have, here you are. Here you are, Pisces. This is Neptune. This is the High Priestess, listening to your inner voice. Therein, you will hear the voices of your ancestors, because that's, we have an inner voice that's coming from our higher self, talking to us. And then we have voices from ancestors that are coming through. If you do the inner work, don't be afraid of any sort of thing that you might find that you will classify as a taboo. Your ancestors are here saying, if you do the inner voice and listen to our inner voices, we're going to explain this feeling or this emotion that you have tied to these addictions or darker feelings that you have deemed to be taboos. Let us guide you. Yeah, with the Chariot card. And yeah, I often pick up, this is Cancerian energy. So the moon, Pisces and Cancer rule the moon. This is you stepping into that chariot and listening to that inner voice and letting spirit guide you and explain things to you and bring to you an awareness. Can't make this up. Pisces. Yeah, you right now, and you often feel that you're the outsider. This is Five of Pentacles. But in the material world, you are the freak, you are the outsider, you are Lilith, you are the dark one, holding a mystical sword. But your ancestors are saying, go within, hop into that mystical chariot, that spiritual chariot of emotion, of the moon, and let spirit guide you in that chariot, take you to where you need to be. And it makes sense, because right now you feel like you're the outsider. You probably always felt like you're the outsider. And it's okay to be. This is my card of endurance as well. And nobody has a stronger emotional endurance, maybe except for Scorpio, than Pisces, because you're mutable water. You're the Eight of Cups. You can get up and hightail it and look for something new. But anymore, spirit wants you. Don't worry about being the outsider in the material world here in Earth energy. Your 12th house energy, your water energy, your mysticism, you're the end cycle. And to get there, step into that mystical chariot of spirit, of source, and let them guide you. Once you connect to them with your inner voice. All right, bottom of the deck for all, we have friendliness. Two of Cups. So there's, I'm picking up two trees, earth energy. So new relationships coming in, but most importantly, it's a relationship with yourself, everyone, that your ancestors want you to know are in your future. And I almost didn't pull three cards from the Wildwood Tarot. So for you Pisces, oh, there you are. Page of Cups, the Otter. On land, but looking like you're about to dive in and listen to that inner voice, get into that chariot, because on earth you are the outsider, and it's okay. Jump into that water, the inner voice, and let spirit guide you. Let your ancestors guide you. Yes. Judgment, Plutonian energy. Stop judging yourself. But here in this deck, and which is why I loved it, look, they're asking you, go into the darkness, go into the cave. We're going to protect you in this judgment process. Don't fear the inner voice and what you will hear. Don't fear this Lilith energy that you'll find within. And trust, Eight of Pentacles, that you will be guided by people who have great skill, and you yourself being the outsider on top of Five of Pentacles. So you go from 5 to 8. When you endure being the outsider in the 3D world, in this physical world, you gain great skill. You're already adept at diving into the emotions and the 12th house energy of the moon and Neptune. And if this time your ancestors want you to go in and really look at your taboos and your addictions, or things that the outsiders would consider taboo. They're in the chariot. When you step into the chariot, you're going to be guided to the answers, and all the while you're going to be protected. And you're going to learn great skill in how to take this powerful Piscean energy of Neptune and the moon and your emotions and your psychic abilities, your channeling abilities are going to increase big time. 12th house is more about channeling, I feel. It's about death and specifically channeling dead people, as I do here in this live stream. I'm giving you these names. Not all will resonate with you. But trust that, like, if you get your DNA tests, you're going to find some of these names in your ancestry. But this whole process for you, Pisces, is going to bring you great skills and knowledge and manifestation skills in the 3D world. All right. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Bows, 8 of Wands, Jupiter energy. No, sorry. Mercury energy. This is channeled messages from your ancestors. So we have a hearth fire here, the warmth of spirit, and you meeting up, and this is for all of you now, meeting up with your ancestors to receive messages and to celebrate around this warmth of spirit, and your ancestors who have long since passed from all your bloodlines will be there to greet you when you do this inner transformational work. All right, so I'm going to leave it here, and I hope this helped you all. Take only what resonates. If you'd like to donate to the channel, I'd appreciate that. And if you'd like any of my services, all the information to donate or pop over to my website and take a look at my services and learn a little bit more about me and what I do. I'm an MBTI Certified Practitioner, an NLP Certified Practitioner. I have a degree from the Juilliard School. And basically, I put all that information and that experience into a spiritual business and practice where I can assist people with the ego death process. I assist people with transitioning in their lives, no matter what transition you may be going through, whether it's relationship to others or relationship to self. I know the ego very well, and I've killed it off and changed. I'm a shapeshifter. Like I said, I'm a disguised Pisces. I have a stellium. I have a grand Earth trine. I have Jupiter and Neptune conjunct. And I have all my life connected with souls who have passed on. I worked with Anubis and Ma'at and Sekhmet, Isis. And in my dream state, I assist your ancestors and people who pass on in this incarnation on this earth during this great time of death and destruction that the universe is putting on our planet with with all the massive changes that Gaia is bringing, with the flooding in California. All these earth cycles are to help us get rid of old Piscean energy so we can prepare to move into an age of knowledge and humanitarianism and community into the age of Aquarius. But first, we got to start with ourselves. And we do that by going in and getting into our own chariot and connecting with our ancestors, and can help you do that as well. So without further ado, thank you to 1011. I thank you for taking part in the live stream, and I hope the messages reach you as intended. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you click on it, you can go right to your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign messages, and hear communication from your ancestors who need help in clearing out generational curses from their bloodlines that you are currently in right now. So thank you, and check out my website at entpgathering.com, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you for joining me.